All right, guys, I'm Evan Eichel here with Bullet USA, and we're going to go over here how to properly fit your Elite Training Vest. So we get lots of questions about this, and not only does this apply to the Elite Training Vest, it also applies to body armor or plate carriers. So stay tuned. We're going to bring this to you right now. All right, guys, so here's the deal. All we really have to worry about is two different things, okay, that contribute to the perfect setup for your training. So here's the deal. The first thing you want to do is establish perfect height of the carrier. So right now, my carrier set up on me is how I want to set it up to train. So this should hopefully be your end result. We want to have the top of the plate carrier. So if you lift your finger and you rest it on the top, you want it at the sternal notch right here or at the collarbone shelf. Either or, they work. On the back, it should be at the top of the shoulder blades, okay? And roughly should be about level front to back. Okay, now we don't want this thing to sit too low, which is a common mistake we see with a lot of people and their setups. And having that set like that, you can't breathe and you lose a lot of mobility. So you lose a lot of that trunk, that thoracic spine, rotation, flexion, extension, and lateral flexion. Okay, so we want to make sure we got all those intact because we get to enjoy training a lot more when we can move and we can breathe. Okay, so first thing, we want to make sure our height is set up for us. So this is the end appropriate height for me, and I'm going to show you guys how to adjust that in just a moment. The second thing we're looking at here is the cummerbund. Okay, so basically attachment around the torso. Now, when we set this up, I want to try and have, okay, the flaps in the front almost meeting or meeting in the front. We don't want it overlapping if we can avoid. So if that's the case for you, if you really tack this thing down and you see that it's overlapping, I'm going to show you how to adjust that in the back so we can get the perfect fit, because not only are we going to feel cool, we're going to look cool when everything works as it should. Okay, so there's the deal there. So we got the height and we got the circumference around the torso. All right, guys, so let's break this down here. We'll show you how to adjust first the shoulder straps. All right, so let's go ahead here and get this thing set up. So first thing, actually, before we get to the shoulder straps, let's go ahead here and take out the cummerbund and put it off the side, because we're gonna do that adjustment here as well, but we're gonna do that second. So first thing here, once you got your carrier set up on the table, first thing we do is we're gonna take off the padded shoulder straps, okay, just like so. We'll keep them off to the side. Okay, now as we're fitting this here, I'll keep the padded shoulder straps off the side. I'm going to put this on me just to make sure I have the proper height of the carrier, and I'm going to make those micro adjustments, and once I'm satisfied with that, I'll put these back on here. So as you can see here, we've got these Velcro straps here. They come completely apart, okay? And what I would do, so if you put it on to start and you see that it's sitting too low, we're gonna have to go a little short. So what I like to do is just find a distance. We'll start with like an inch off our marker from the chest plate, and then center it up and tack down the Velcro, and then I'll match that same position with the other one. Okay, so about an inch off, make the contact at the front, and then match it up at the beginning. You would go ahead and throw that on. If you got the sweet spot, we're on the dance floor, we'll finish it all up and wrap it with a bow with these guys right here. Now, when we put the shoulder straps, padded shoulder straps on, make sure the pad obviously is at the bottom, okay? I like to have the wide, okay, female end of the Velcro on top, so that the inside, okay, that would make contact with your shoulder and neck is the smooth part, okay? We'll get this as tight as possible so we have as little movement on these guys. So just take a second and really tack that down, and then do the same thing for the other one. Really tack it down, get them nice and even, okay? And then that's it. So there's your shoulder strap adjustment, all nice and buttoned up. So that's the first one. Now let's go ahead and adjust the cummerbund. So if you can see here, okay, so this guy would actually fit in the back plate panel, and inside you can see these bungees that keep it together. Now you can see there is a little give to it, and that is gonna help with a little bit of that breathing, so when the rib cage expands and comes back, it has some play through the bungees. Now we don't wanna have it so loose that we don't get to activate this, and we don't want it so tight that we're like max end range tension of those guys. So if it's a little too short on the ends, we gotta lengthen it up. And what we're gonna do is we'll just unknot these guys here first, unknot both those, okay? And then we're gonna basically extend to feed it. So if you wanna make it shorter, we're just gonna overlap more. If you wanna make it a little bit looser, we're gonna widen it. Now, one thing you could do right off the hop here is you could literally just separate them a little bit further and then knot it up from there, and that could work. Or if you want, it'll go as far as these end channels, right like this. Feed this guy down. 1, the other one out here. And then we'll do the same. All right, so you can see we got these guys here. So we just want to make sure that we're knotting on the same guy. So if you get a little tug there, you can kind of see what one, okay, I can see that these two match, so I'm gonna make sure I knot those together, okay, and then I'll knot those together. So this would be the widest angle, and then if you wanted the shortest angle, okay, we would basically keep one there, and then tuck over to the furthest side, like so. So a lot of play, okay, a lot of options there to get different tension lengths for whatever fit you're looking to get, okay? So again, over the wide one here, and this would be our smallest setup. Once we got those set up there, we'll go ahead, get them nice and even, and make sure we had cinched down the appropriate ones here. So I'm gonna tie these two together. I'll just go ahead and make a nice knot. And when I pull here, I kind of hold my thumb over here to give it a nice and tight, okay? And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, so there you go. There's the two options there, so you guys got, so get it as small as you want, or get it as overlap as you like, whatever works for you guys. So play with that and make sure you guys get the right fit. All right, a little tip here with the cummerbund on how to set it up and cinch it down. So one thing is, people that just breathe naturally and maybe on an exhale, they really cinch it down, they go to breathe and it's super tight. So what I like to do is get that flap up right before I get there, take a deep breath in and cinch it down right to that last final spot. And then we're good. So again, we got that end range breath that we can get access to. We're not having to fight the cummerbund the entire time, but still have some good snugness to it so that it stays in place. All right, so that's how we're gonna adjust both the shoulder strap and the cummerbund. So you now should have the perfect setup for you. If you go ahead and throw this thing on and it's not quite where you want it to be, go ahead and make another micro adjustment. That's okay. Take the time in the beginning so you get the fit you need in the end. All right, now a great test for this once you have this thing set up for you is to go for a small run. Go for a bear crawl, do some pull-ups, do some burpees. I like, one of my favorites is actually get on the assault bike and go at it, okay? Max effort for about 15-20 seconds. This thing should be locked in place and where you want it, and if it's not, go ahead and make a couple more of those tweaks until you get it just right. All right, so after a couple of those tests, if your Elite Training Vest is staying where you feel it's most comfortable, then you have achieved mission success. Congratulations, get out there and train. All right, guys, that's it, that's all. How to set up your Elite Training Vest with Bullet USA. I'm Evan Eichler. Get out there, get after it. We'll look forward to seeing you out there.